Hi, Dyslexic Genius here. I'm starting the final assembly of the museum home. We finally got back to this because all the stuff came in and the repainting. And I've set the decal. We have videos on doing the decal. But now what you have is you always have that little line that goes around here you have to cut out. What you do is you lay this in, then you wait a day for the decal to dry, and then we just shellac over. So now I shellacked over about 3 times. Now it looks like it blended right in. Now what we have to do is put the base in. So we have the base. We have some screws. Now I'm using these because the screws I pulled out were all rusted out because the machine had been wet in previous videos. And don't yell at me because you can't find slotted screws anymore. Everything's Phillips. Now what you do is you take the base and you like we have this hole to that hole. We line it up and we take a small Phillips Now I can feel the hole. So now you have that hole. Now you go around and you check all of these like that. That the hole you're going through here, all these are lining up with you. You have to be careful when you do that. And why do you do this? Because if you don't line the hole up and you screw in, the old screw or new screw is going to pop out the outside of the cabinet. It'll pop out over here and then you're going to go, oopsie. And then what I did was I pre-drilled these holes. I drilled them out a little bit bigger so that these weren't tightening into the base and then tightening into the cabinet here. So you just come in here and you line them up and you'll feel it. When you start screwing, it'll go right in. I re-countersunk these holes because I wanted them, because the heads, this new stuff, the heads are a little higher. So you come around here and double check like that. Screw all these in. You see how I'm checking every hole now when I'm screwing this in? Because you want to make sure, because if it's off, this screw is going to go anywhere it wants to go. And you want it to go back in the original hole. Now you can see these are all flush mounted. I have 2 that are a little stiff. And there's a reason I do this. You feel? Everything's there.
What is the reason you do this?
Because now the whole top is flat. Originally we had, where my finger is, you have to see this little hole, you had a little rubber garment that had a little nail and they just hammered these in. Now, over 100 years, 150 years, that rubber falls apart and gets hard. And what you do is you have this little knob sticking up of the brass and no rubber. So when you set it down on a piece of furniture, it scratches it. So we're making this all smooth. Now what we have to do is put in the escutcheon. We have the escutcheon. It goes here. It has a little push-out thing. And then it has another little push-out thing because these are pressed in. You have the hole and you have the escutcheon going in and you have a little push-out thing and it just kind of rides on the wood in there. It holds it in place. They're pressed in. So you come in here and you line that flat part up where the lock goes and you go, oh! So what you don't want to do is come up, lay a piece of wood or hammer and beat it in. You want to just press this in. So it's very simple. We take a C-clamp with a piece of wood underneath. You line everything up. This has to be flush. You go like that. You want to line the C-clamp up where the escutcheon is. You don't want it off the side or something. And you can look right in here and this is the safest way to put one in, because if you're putting it in and beating on it, you might have a tendency, and that's how you do it.
To hurt the cabinet.
To hurt the cabinet. Now it's in place. Now what you'll have to do, you'll start putting in the lid locks, and then we'll put on the back base plate, and we'll work on from there. And that's my tip for the day.